The energy is real. Worry less about what you're going to post. Like ask yourself, who am I going to help with this? How am I going to impact somebody with it? If you lead with those things, it's like, then people actually care. So when we're talking about energy into movement, I'm like, that's kind of what I'm talking about. And then content into clients, it's basically the same thing. I'm like, if you have that limptic content, I don't care how perfect your Canvas slide is, people are going to be like, next, especially in today's world. It's just not going to work. So I'm like, say something real. I don't even care. Say something out of pocket. Like if you have to say something that you really resonate with, because people can tell it's you and not like, I got this out of Chat GPT, because right now we're so sick of that. Like our brains are over it. So that's that whole side of it. It's energetics and it's also strategic.
Welcome to Next Level You podcast. I'm Stephanie Dingbaum, your host, your biggest cheerleader, and your go-to girlfriend for real, raw, and uplifting conversations about leveling up in life. As a mental health therapist with over a decade of experience and a business coach helping women elevate their lives and businesses, I'm here to guide you through the mindset shifts, holistic practices, and manifestation tools you need to step into your most authentic, next level self. Whether you're here to ignite your personal growth, elevate your professional game, or simply rediscover you, this podcast is your invitation to dream bigger, go after your goals, and unapologetically claim the life you deserve. So grab your favorite drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. It's time to up-level, manifest, and glow. Welcome back to Next Level You podcast, you guys. I have an exciting collab planned for you all today. I have a guest with me, Morgan J. Falls. That's her Instagram handle. Morgan is here today. We're talking all about building your brand as a business owner. Morgan and I just met on Instagram. It's not an exciting story by any means, but I came upon her profile, or maybe you added me first. I honestly can't remember, but I was so intrigued by her content, by her posts. And as somebody who has just recently built a second business and has felt like this brand of my coaching business feels very soul aligned to me. And I've just become so passionate about, like, I think every business owner needs to truly pour into having an intentional brand. So it was very synchronistic for me that I found Morgan, because I am not an expert when it comes to branding yourself, and Morgan is. And so really, just to give you a brief introduction, Morgan is a business and brand coach. So she helps visionary women turn their big dreams into profitable magnetic brands. Morgan, why don't you introduce yourself in more depth?
Thank you, Stephanie. That was such a nice introduction. And I'm like, I don't actually know how we met. That's how the best friendships start, right? You're like, who messaged you? I just remember one day we were talking. I was like, this girl is cool. And then it was done.
Yep. We jived.
Yeah. So just like you said, I am a brand and business coach, and I really love working with women who have like these big visions and have these big goals. And sometimes I like to say even unrealistic goals. Yeah. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
And I like, just when they come to me with these big goals, I like helping them kind of break it down into bite-sized pieces so that it does feel doable and attainable, because I find that's where so often like visionaries kind of get lost in their own head sometimes, is they're like, I have so many ideas. They're so big. They're so expansive. It's like, I don't know where to start. And then those ideas never get acted on. And that is like such a tragedy. So yes, I really do just love helping women take their ideas and actually make them marketable and make them something that people understand and want to buy. Because at the end of the day, even if you're heart-led, which we all are, right? Even if you're heart-led, you do need income in order to sustain your dream. So I'm like, let's do it all. Let's do the woo, but let's also make money while we're doing it. So that is basically what I do, is help visionary women take that big idea and turn it into something that they can actually market and make money off of and build a business and a brand.
I love it. To some people, this might be just something that's way over their head. But as I have really dove into building my businesses, I am now like obsessed with branding, and I never thought I would really care that much about it. And same with marketing, like that always really intimidated me. And now I freaking love it. So I love that these things get to be fun. They get to be a fun part of building your business, right? I love that.
Yes. And I think like just to be fully transparent with you and like, listen, I've never said this. This might be the death of my business.
Doubt it. Go there.
When I first started out in business, I was very anti advertising marketing. I was always that person when people like were in college, they're like, I'm going into advertising. I'm like, oh my God, why?
Yeah.
Terrifying. And even when I started my business out, I was like, I'm less concerned with brand. But I think that's because I didn't really understand what brand was. I think when we hear the word brand, we're like, oh, that's a logo and that's bubblegum pink with a white outline. And I was like,
for real.
Sure about that. Like and that is not what brand is. And that's not how I teach brand. But I think that's why so many people are like, it's way over my head because it's like, does this font work with this font? And it's like, listen, there are people who really, that's their whole life.
Yes.
And that's their whole job. That's not what I do. And that's not what I consider brand. But I think that's why we overcomplicate it, right? And it feels intimidating. We have it built up to be this like secret formula of success when it's like, that's not really what brand is.
Yeah. Okay. I love that you went there because one of the first things I really wanted to ask you about was as I was like scrolling through your Instagram profile, I kept seeing like the it factor. And so I really want you to talk about that because that was really intriguing to me as a business owner. So when you talk about helping clients uncover this like it factor, what are you all meaning by that?
Yeah, this is like one of my favorite. And this is probably like the most wooiest thing because
I'm here for it.
I swear I'm like, you can come to me and we can like talk and have like a vibey conversation for 30 minutes and I'm going to know exactly what your it factor is. And it's just an ability I've always had. But it can be triggering for people because a lot of times people are like, no, like I'm not this. Like I hear this all the time from new coaches. I'm not blonde. I'm not rich. I'm not gorgeous, which I'm like, first off, we're all pretty. So it's
my gosh.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any clothes. I don't have the aesthetic house. And I'm like, I promise you, like your ideal client is not looking for that. And what your ideal client really, when we start talking about that, it's like they really are looking for you. But it's like, it's so hard for people sometimes because we as women have a hard time sometimes seeing ourselves.
Yes, I
think that's like, and this sounds a little woo, but I'm like, it can really get emotional for people when I'm like, okay, let's just go a little bit deeper about you. And people do not want to do that.
I know.
But when we are really leading heart-led businesses, you have to, and even if you're like a business coach, I still am like, there's so many pieces of me in my business and you have to, in order to connect with people, you have to have that side of it. And I think people, when they are like, whether they're like, I'm going to be a mindset coach or I'm going to be a therapist or whatever, they're very much like, they want to separate the two. They want to separate who they are from their business, but then they want people to buy. And I'm like, here's the thing. People are so smart. Like we as human beings are so smart. And there's been studies done about this. Don't ask me to quote them because listen, my brain is not. No, there's been studies done about this where like the number one thing that we sense as human beings is authenticity or inauthenticity. It's just like a very natural thing. And so it's like when somebody is trying to use a bravado to be something they're not, because I think that's what people want. Like it's no matter, you could be selling the cure for cancer. It won't matter because people are like, ew, you instantly get the ick. And so I'm all about like, if I was talking to you, like Stephanie, I see so many amazing things about you and like just your energy. We like me and you have very different energies and they complement each other. But I'm like, you have a very grounding, like calm, beautiful energy. And it's like, even when I'm saying that, I could see you being like, oh my gosh, it's just like,
it's a little intimidating.
Yes. And so it's like, but we would really like, that's one small piece of your it factor. And it's like, we would use that as to lead with rather than like, some coaches lead with like, I'm a very humor driven and very bold coach. And so people think their it factor is going to be that like, oh, I have to be sassier. And I'm like, no, that's my thing, not yours. But it's really being able to connect with the person on a soul level and being like, but who are you? What makes you unique? And then we're going to leverage that because the people who really resonate with that are your ideal clients. We don't need to see something different. And I think that is hard for people to grasp. But when they get it, everything falls into place. And it's my favorite thing to work on with people.
I could see that now. Okay, this is fascinating to me. Initially, one of the things you said that like really spoke to me was like, in the beginning, I did have that mindset. I was so naive, but I did have that mindset of like, hey, I want my brand to be like beachy and just like very calm aesthetic and just pleasing to the eye, like the ocean blues, but I'm like in the Midwest and like the nearest body of water is like the muddy Mississippi. So I'm like, how the hell am I going to get branding photos? But that's not what it necessarily is, right? Like people are more interested, like you said, people are more interested really in our stories and our why and like why we're doing what we're doing and less interested in the pretty beach background behind my quote, like honestly. And so when you said that, I was like, holy shit, it's like you're in my head.
I know. It's like I have a gift for it, right?
Yeah.
And I see it a lot. And listen, I'm raising my hand and eating a piece of the humble pie because I have done this. If you scroll back, I don't ever delete anything on my Instagram because I want everyone to see how cringy it was. And listen, in a year from now, I'm going to look back at what I'm doing today and be like, God, that's
oh my God, I agree.
It is what it is, right?
Yep.
And so, but I think we all kind of go through that. It's almost like when you're an entrepreneur, that's like your teenage years. Like you're trying to experiment and you're like, I think I'm supposed to be this way. I think I'm supposed to present this way. And I did that too, where I was like, when I first started out, I was very like mindset only. And I really, I have a corporate background. I was like, I don't want to help people with business at all. And the interesting thing was, you probably see this with some of your work. It's like you start helping people and then it just naturally progresses where they're like, they can see that you have a gift for that. And so they start asking you questions about what. And so without fail, all my clients, once we got their mindset right, they'd be like, okay, now I want to start a business. Can you help me? And I'm like, why am I like trying to hide this? Because I felt like it didn't fit into the spiritual world. And I was like, and so that's what I'm saying. It's like, it's almost like growing pains, but when you kind of can get through it and just really own everything of who you are, it's like, it's real freedom. And your clients then come to you. You're not like seeking people out. So it's great.
I love that. Even when I think in terms of like my it factor, like a story that immediately came to mind after you were first talking was like, I have a therapy client who also knows me as a local female entrepreneur who's a part of our local entrepreneur group. And she's made comments to me about like, it's so funny, like as a therapist, you very much bring this like calming and relaxing demeanor to the room. But then when I see you like with your coach hat on, or you're like just like in general, like promoting yourself as a female entrepreneur, you like rock in the room with confidence and you're ready to cheer everyone else on. And it's like kind of a different energy. And it's so interesting to hear you say that I bring this demeanor and this energy to the room, because that is what I hear over and over again. But I do hear like kind of both ends of the spectrum. Like my coaching clients are very much like, gosh, how do you have this confidence? But like, I don't really bring that to the therapy room. I really just want to bring that calmness in. So it's interesting that it factor is a huge part of my business. And I never really thought of it like that until you said that.
It totally is, because, and I'm not just saying this to gas you up because I'm on your show.
No. I get you.
Genuinely, when somebody hops into my DMs or we're just talking, I can usually tell really easily if it's like they're feeling weird or it's just a sale thing or whatever. Yeah. And I actually don't care when people are trying to sell to me. I love it. I'm like, do your thing. Like, let's see what you got. Let's do it. But when somebody has a lot of insecurity or has like, it's really hard for me not to connect with them, but it's really hard for me because I'm like, I'm just the type of person like, I'm going to do my thing and I need you to do your thing. And that's why, Stephanie, we hit it off because I'm like, dude, she knows who she is and she's good with it. And like, and that's why you absolutely, it's a quiet confidence, but it is strong. And that's like a beautiful part of your whole brand too. Like even looking through your content, I'm like, she's so laid back and confident in like a very quiet way. And I love it.
You hit the nail on the head. I'm freaking impressed and a little scared, but you hit the nail on the head. That's great. So I'm just curious, like for a woman or for a business owner in general, like who isn't self-aware enough or maybe just doesn't know their it factor or has never really had it pointed out to them, like where do you start with them?
Yeah. That's like the $1 million question people ask me.
I'm sure it is. I mean, you obviously pick up on these things pretty well, but
yeah. So it's actually like, I actually have a post coming out this week about like the first step I would have someone do if they weren't in my containers or something, you know. But it actually, and this is why people don't find it though. They don't like to sit with themselves. And I'm like, you have to be able to get quiet with yourself for a minute. I don't care if that looks like a walk with no earbuds. I don't care if that's you kind of sitting or whatever, journaling. But what I like to do, because I even do this with myself like once a year, like a weirdo, because I'm like, I need to like get back in touch with Morgan. And I just like to brain dump like all the things about me that make me me, and even the things that other people might not notice. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot about me that it's like, I mean, we all have an ego side that we present and then deep things that nobody knows, right? And I'm not
Yes.
saying we have to bare our soul on Instagram, but what I'm saying is it's you recognizing those things and really recognizing them. And I kind of do that. I have them brain dump that because they really start going deep on things. And then I'm like, okay, once you're done with that, I'm going to flip the script and I want you to list out 20 reasons someone would hire you today, as you are today, like without a doubt, 20 reasons and only you, like you're the obvious choice. And it's like, because they've then listed out all these things that they don't lead their business with, that is like just a very like tip of the iceberg. But even that, they can have a breakthrough where they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize like, you know, my past of having, I'll use myself so I'm not like outing someone. My past with having mental health struggles, anxiety, social anxiety issues. I didn't realize that like me overcoming that and actually turning all of that into a superpower can help clients, right? I don't lead with that in my posts, but that is a huge part of why I can relate to people who are like, I'm scared to show up. And how do we get over it? Right. And so it's like, it's just things like that where it's like someone might not know anything about this. You know about it and what you had to do to overcome it. How do we use that to your advantage? Not as a victim story. You know what I mean? Like I try to get them to really feel empowered by the things that maybe they have tried to hide away from others. Yeah. And just that one little thing, usually they're like, oh my gosh, they have big breakthroughs. But yeah, that's usually the first step. I'm like, let's just get really back in touch with ourselves for a moment.
That's huge. And I know people do shy away from that. I mean, hello, that happens in the therapy room all the time. But like, I think people are so comfortable. I mean, it's just natural human tendency to like level down into victim mode. But if you have that power to get them to level up into that empowerment mindset, that is such a game changer. And it's going to help really boost their business in ways that it wouldn't happen if they were stuck in victim mode. So that's huge.
Yeah. And I always listen. I hate to even use the word victim because it's such a
I know
word. But I say it from somebody who I didn't realize. This is the weirdest thing, Stephanie. You're going to love this as a therapist. I would always get really triggered when I was like in a group setting or anything. And somebody was like, oh, I'm just having a hard day. I can't show up. And I would get like mad. And I'm like, and I was talking to one of my coaches about it. I was like, I actually like, it makes me really angry when people play the victim. And she's like, that's really interesting. And she's like, why do you think that is? Like a therapist, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. And she's like, you know, we kind of went down the rabbit hole and I'm like, I realized I play the victim or have. I really try to make a concerted effort not to now.
Yep.
But I had fallen into that. I was playing the victim and then I was seeing it in other people and it was reflecting it to me and I was getting so mad. And so like, listen, I say that with love when I say we're in a victim mindset because I don't think anybody's like, hi, I'm going to raise my hand and want to be a victim. It's like you said, it's kind of part of self-preservation, right? It's like we kind of fall into it, but it's awareness and then choosing something different actively. Yes. And that really does make such a difference. It really does. They feel so much more empowered when they're like, oh, I actually don't have to feel this way.
I love that. Yeah. So in your content, you speak a lot about turning like energy into movement and content into clients.
Yeah.
How do you, and maybe you don't want to give away too much of this as probably this is something people learn if they work with you, but how do you guide people to do that in real life?
No, I'll give it away.
Okay.
I'll give it away. That's why I always tell people, like, I don't gatekeep because in reality, people, when they're paying to work with me, they're paying for proximity. They're not paying for
Totally.
I'm like, I'll tell you whatever.
Yeah.
So when I'm talking about turning energy into a movement, and listen, I always say this and people laugh and I'm like, but it's true. There are certain creators that you're going to go to their page and feel a certain way, whether that's like inspired, whether it's like badass, whatever. There are certain people, you're going to go that way. And it's interesting because sometimes it's like, I see this a lot in the coaching world. And I'm sure now that you're kind of getting more into it, you see it like a trend, for example, or a post that like a big name person has done. And then you start seeing littler accounts redo it almost verbatim. Yeah. And it's just very interesting because why did this person, I understand they have a following, but why did this land so heavy for people? And then these littler accounts, it's like falling flat. And I truly believe it's like, that's because the energy behind it, like the person who originally created it, whether they're big account or a little account, they created it with true intention, a piece of their soul. And it was something that was truly channeled. The people who are copying it are just copying it. Even if they're rewriting it, it's like they're just copying it. And it's like, I don't care what anyone says, how woo that sounds. I'm like, there is an energy that goes into your posts and people can feel that and read that very easily. And so that's where I'm saying, like, I don't care if you have a laid back energy. I don't care if you're like the bad bitch, but we're going to channel that into your posts. And when people come to your page, that is how they are going to feel. And if it doesn't feel that way, like I always say, like, none of this limp D word energy. I'm like, I can't fix that for you. Like, I can tell you're not excited about it and we're just not going to do it. Like, we're moving on.
Yes.
That's what the energy piece of it. It's like, that's something, if it doesn't give you like the zoomies, it's not right.
Okay. I completely agree with this. And as you were talking, the first example that popped in my mind was like the Nicki Minaj challenge. Like, yeah, some of these big name people were doing it and they were just going viral super fast. And then like you said, like littler and smaller accounts start doing it. And like, you're really not, it's not catching on like some of the other ones were. And yeah, even in my own experience, when I get a download for a reel idea or even a carousel idea or just a post in general, I get so excited about creating these and they do tend to get more eyes on them versus, I've copied some for sure. And they've done okay, but like not great.
And I think that's the thing, Stephanie. It's like, that's what I always tell people. I'm like, listen, I can help you write your content. I'm a content machine. I can help you do that. But if it's not an idea that you have and we're just polishing it, it's going to fall flat. Like it just is. And if you're not excited about it, it's not going to work. Like that's the energetic side of it that I'm like, you really have to actually love what you're doing. And if not, like nobody else is either.
Yeah.
I just had this conversation with a client where she's like, I've been working on this course. Like she's new to me. She's like, I've been working on this course for like 3 years. And she's telling me all the reasons she hates this course, but like she wants to do it because she's afraid of missing out on the passive income. I'm like, okay, I don't care how good this course is. I don't care if this course will like change the world. You're never going to sell one course if this is how you feel about it. Like just scrap it for right now. It's not going to work for you. And she's like, that feels so good. I'm like, yeah, well, let's just stop.
But it's crazy how like she needed your permission to just scrap it. You know what I mean? Like she can't do that.
I feel like you're just asking for permission. So
yeah, totally.
Yeah. And so, that the energy is real. And I think a lot of new entrepreneurs, especially, they don't understand that side of it because they're very focused on sales, which I get.
I agree.
You need to make money. I get that. But it's like, I always tell people, like, worry less about what you're going to post that's going to get someone to buy. Ask yourself, who am I going to help with this? How am I going to impact somebody with it? If you lead with those kind of things, and I know it sounds cliche and annoying, but if you lead with those things, it's like, then people actually care.
I agree.
It's different. So
I totally
when we're
agree.
talking about energy into movement, I'm like, that's kind of what I'm talking about. And then content into clients, it's basically the same thing. I'm like, if you have that limp dick content. I don't care how perfect your canvas slide is. People are going to be like, next, especially in today's world. It's just not going to work. So I'm like, say something real. I don't even care. Say something out of pocket. Like if you have to say something that you really resonate with, because people can tell it's you and not like, I got this out of Chat GPT. Because right now we're so sick of that. Like our brains are over it. So that's that whole side of it. It's energetics and it's also strategic because I do see, we all see it, the same hooks. How to stop 3 tips to make your first 5K. And it's like, read another one of those posts. I'm going to die.
Those are the ones I just like keep on scrolling typically.
Even if they would make me 5K, I'm like, I can't.
So I totally agree. So for somebody who feels like they're doing all the things, they're posting 5 days a week or consistently or whatever it is for them. They're, making these pretty posts, but nothing's getting them traction. What I'm hearing you say is they're missing the energy behind it. Like probably what I would be guessing they're missing is like, you need to go within, you need to slow down. You're not in a flow state. Just go within and give yourself that downtime to just really connect with yourself and what's coming up for you. Like what do you feel the business needs? Is that right? Is that what you're saying?
So I think, this is where I'm kind of like a dichotomy because I feel like it could be honestly, it could be
okay.
But I would say it's both. I say, yes, it's a very energetics thing.
Yeah.
And it's also probably some strategy thing. And usually, I've never had anyone where it's one or the other.
Right. Okay.
I'm not always like, okay, we're going to lean back. But I do think first off, we're going to get back in touch with yourself and get clear. That needs to happen in like a couple days. We're not going to spend 3 months doing that because I think we get comfortable and fixing. And I'm like, no, we're not doing that. So usually I'm like, we're going to get really clear and we're going to reconnect and then we're going to keep going. But oftentimes, yes, it is an energetic thing where I'm like, I'm sure you see this and you've dealt with this as a therapist, you've dealt with this as a coach, where it's like this, women especially, it's like they want to be liked. It's like this likability thing where I'm like, that safe content. And I'm not saying you have to be offensive or even bold, but I'm like, this isn't even how you talk to me. Why is your content? So that's a lot of it. I'm like, we need to like just revamp content often and make it in their voice, not ChatGPT's voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also I'm like, I need to know like that you like the conviction piece, both strategically and energetically. It's like the conviction is like the bow. I'm like, I need to know that you 1000% without a doubt know this is going to change somebody's life, this offer that you're selling. I need to know that. And if you don't think that, we need to revamp your offer because there's a problem there.
Right.
And then if you do feel that way, why are we not speaking that way about it in your content? Because that's the other thing I see where people in their content strategically, they're like, if you're interested, stop it. Don't do that. You need this. This is why you need this. And they're scared to say that. And I'm like, but listen, guys, it's not like Nike's like, hey, these shoes might help you.
Right. Right.
And so that's why I'm like, we really need to claim our greatness strategically, energetically, and put it out there that way. And so I think it's a lot of things, but yes, the energy is a big part of it. And I think they also have to implement that into how they are strategically doing things. Because a lot of times, I think I see this a lot with newer entrepreneurs too, where it's like they're showing up, they're doing the things, it's very consistent, but they're kind of, I don't want to make anybody mad, but they're kind of like in that lean back, like everybody's going to come to me. Yeah, everybody is going to come to you, but as of right now, they don't know you exist.
Right.
And posting one thing or 5 things in a row isn't going to, you kind of have to like put yourself out there a little bit more, right? And
yes, you do. Yeah.
And so I'm like, it is social media, people. Let's be social. So I think I always tell my clients, like, pretend it's like the billboard in high school. I don't know. I'm probably dating myself, but we used to have this billboard in high school where people would pin up like choir practice or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, there'd be like 20 things pinned up there and nobody's paying attention to any of them. Now, if there's somebody standing in front of that board, passing out invites to homecoming dance or something, you're going to actually pay attention to that. And I'm like, think of it that way. You don't have to be salesy and spammy, but if you're not connecting with people, they don't care.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's so funny you bring that up because so at the time that we're recording this, it's the week after I've been at the Powerhouse Women Conference, just so listeners are aware of the context of this. But truth be told, the episode's probably not going to air till later 2025. I actually got called out literally the first night of the conference, literally during the icebreaker by another coach. We were just supposed to like randomly find somebody and do this. We do like a truth and dare icebreaker. It's like kind of like 90s sleepover style. It's so fun. And so anyway, she called me out. We were talking about our elevator pitch. And then we were talking about, I don't even remember how we got into this, but I know it started with the elevator pitch thing. But I told her, I was like, I am not meant to like seek out clients. It really comes down to like my human design type is why I feel that way. But they are supposed to organically find me. And that has been my experience so far. I've never had to seek someone out. And so I was telling her this and I'm like, so with that being said, you're not going to find me in your DMs, like salesing myself to you. And then we finished listening to the icebreaker thing with Lindsay. And then she was like, I really debated putting my coaching hat on for you. And my gut is telling me I need to. So I need you to hear this. And I mean this with love. But she was like, it's really a limiting belief that you think that showing up in people's DMs means you're being salesy to them. And I'm like, well, I get a lot of those salesy people. So I just think it's quite annoying. And then she actually was like, why? I wonder why that annoys you. And you know, the whole mirroring thing. And I'm like, oh, then she told me, she's like, look at all the vendors in this room. And are they being pushy? Are they being super salesy to you? And I'm like, no, not a single one of them. She's like, right. But they're showing up. They're here. They're talking to you. They're making a relationship with you. Right. I'm like, yeah. And she's like, yeah, they're being social with you, which is exactly what you just said. And so she's like, so you can just show up in their DMs and be social with them and make sure they know what you do without being salesy. And then if they don't take the bait, it's fine. You're not going to be butthurt or anything, but they don't necessarily know what you do just because you post 5 days a week. And I was like, holy shit, I can't believe, like, she totally called me out on it. And I needed to hear that. That was the thing. Like, that was a limiting belief. And I needed to be told that. That was like one of the big takeaways I took from that night was like, okay, I've been looking at this completely the wrong way, you know, and then you said it. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm a projector too, and people don't ever think that.
No,
like you're well, I'm a projector, but I'm also like a Leo rising, so I'm like I'm weird. Okay. But I would say this: I agree with what you're saying. I love human design. Okay, I love none of my human design people come at me. I love human design, but it does give people an out to be like, well, I'm a Manny Jen. I just can't stick to one thing, or I'm a projector. I can't sell, and I'm like, no, that's not what they're saying. And that's the thing. Like for a minute there was really deep into my projector stuff. And I was like, no, I shouldn't have to go get these people. But then I was like, okay, but realistically, like even just like this call would never have happened if somehow we hadn't connected in the DMs. Like we would have forgotten the other person existed. And that's a real truth, because even if I would have looked at your stuff and been like, she's really cool. If I'm not ready to hire you, which how many people are really ready to hire you, I would have been like, I'm going to save her. I would have forgotten about you and you would have forgotten about me because there's too much going on. And so it's like, that's where it's like, I don't ever approach a DM conversation like, how am I going to sell this person? I'm just like, dude, what is this person about? Or like, and then I'm like, cool, they're cool. Like, I'm going to stay connected, or I'm not if they're not. But that's the thing. It's like, we limit ourselves because of the sales. And I'm like, I always think of it like, even if I am hard pitching someone, like, cause I have had people before where I'm like, bro, they'll vote on a poll or something and be like, hey, I'm showing up all these times and I'm not making sales. I'm like, okay, do you want help? They're like, yes. And I could be hard selling them. I still don't feel salesy because I'm like, here's the thing. I know this person actually really needs help and I am going to offer them a solution to help them. If they want to get it, great. If not, it's not like it's any heart loss to me or them. And so it's like, I think we got to depersonalize it in some ways. Like, I used to work retail for years. And I'm telling you right now, when those girls would go into the American Eagle changing rooms and I bring them 60 different items to try on and they came out with 3, I was never like, oh my gosh, she only got 3 things. I was like, cool. I'm glad you found an outfit you liked.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we just have to like take it. And I get it because it is us. So it can feel personal when someone's like, hey, that's not really what I'm looking for.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's like, cool. I want you to find what you are looking for. And I think we just need to approach it that way. Like, I want to help you. If you don't need my help, that's great.
Are you ready to step into your most abundant next level self? What if I told you that what you wear and surround yourself with can actually help you manifest the life of your dreams? That's exactly why I'm so excited to share Future Self Apparel with you. It is a manifestation-focused lifestyle brand designed to empower you with affirmations, intentional products, and daily reminders to live your most abundant life. As a mindset and manifestation coach, I always preach about embodying your future self now. And that's exactly what this brand helps you do. Whether it's through affirmation-infused apparel, high vibrational products, or mindset-shifting reminders, everything Future Self creates is designed to elevate your energy, align you with your desires, and help you become the person you are meant to be. Here's what makes Future Self apparel so powerful. Every piece is created with intention, infused with positive affirmations and a manifestation energy. Wearing or using these products is a tangible way to embody your highest self daily. It's not just clothing, you guys. It's a mindset shift, helping you stay aligned with your goals and abundance. I've been obsessed with Future Self apparel as of just recently because it aligns perfectly with the work I do, helping women build confidence, rewire their beliefs, and create the life they've always dreamed of. So, if you're ready to step into your highest timeline and become the future self you've been manifesting, then this brand, this company is for you. Head to the link in today's show notes to shop Future Self Apparel and start living as the most confident, abundant, and aligned version of you.
Yeah, because honestly, you don't want a client that isn't a good fit anyways. And so if they're feeling like it's not a good fit, that wouldn't necessarily be a great experience for you.
No, it's not. If anybody's ever had a client that they knew wasn't a good fit and they took them anyway, you learn real quick. You're like, never again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Totally.
And I'm sure you've experienced that in the therapy world where it's like, you've had someone that you're like, I don't really think this is what you need, but you kind of go with it for maybe a few sessions. And then you're like, this was a waste of our time.
Yeah.
And I don't think you'd ever, like, if somebody came to you as a therapist and was like, hey, I think I have ADHD, and you diagnose them with something else, it's not like, and you're like, this is actually not my realm. You would never be like, oh my gosh, like, this is a huge. So that's where I'm like, we just need to take that out of sales. I mean, yes, it is sales, but it's not like this weird, people make it way too, like life or death. And I'm like, it's really not.
Yeah.
It's really not. The worst someone could say is no or F off or block you. And it's fine. The world keeps going.
How long have you been doing this work for? I'm just curious.
So I've been coaching for about 3 years. Prior to that, I was a nurse and I worked in the corporate world for startups. And so I think that's why people are like, why are you so like not afraid? And I'm like, you know what? Like I worked in startups with guys who were very like alpha, and you just figure it out. Like, I'm like, I just learned to solve problems or like act fast because you just don't have time to be like overthinking. And in medical field, it's the same way. Like when there's a critical situation, it's like, do something. I don't care if it's the perfect thing, do your best guess and we'll base it off of that. And I'm like, I think that's why in business, it's like, nobody's going to die if I pitch them and they say no. So I don't care.
Yeah.
I just built that tolerance. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love that. Okay. That makes so much sense. Like, I just wondered, like, you so confidently talk about this. Like, I just wondered, like, you have to have more.
You've been doing this for 60 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it just seems like you can talk about it so eloquently. So I was just curious.
Well, that's so sweet of you. I've never heard anyone say I speak eloquently. So.
Well, about it. I mean, like,
you're like, just
you really
do. Girl.
So you have a program called the Undeniable Brand Academy, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. Okay. So it's actually funny how we were talking about like being a teenager and going through growing pains. So the Undeniable Brand Academy used to be called the Bad Bitch Academy. Like it's such a hard pivot, right?
I love it.
When I was very much just mindset coaching and embodiment coaching, that's what it was, where it was really all about like learning how to step into your like conviction and lead with conviction. And then inevitably what would happen is like month like 3 in the program, people will be like, okay, I want to start my business. And I'm like, okay, I just need to like stop trying to separate this. So I started doing business coaching and then I was like, I'm going to just change this because in all reality, I've never been through any business course or any business coaching where you're not dealing with mindset and embodiment. I agree. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to add on to this. So the Undeniable Brand Academy is like a true work of like years and I love it. It's a hybrid container. So it is a course that they have access to the course material for life, which I'm like, I love that because as my things change and, you know, I learn new things, they get those updates for life. And then they also have 6 months of group coaching, which is really, really helpful to them.
Yeah.
So I have women that come in like, just having an ideation of what their business is. And I also have women come in that are like years into their business. They're like, hey, I need to like figure this out.
Yeah.
But it really walks them through like my framework is clarity, mindset, embodiment, and then like the business and energetics of it kind of ties it all together. And so it really takes them through the whole thing. And it's an amazing program. Like I'm not just saying that.
Sounds like it. It really sounds like it.
Yeah. So it's a really, really cool. And like the community is really cool too, because girls meet like their business besties. They meet new clients because I'm like, listen, I think, I have been with some coaches for a while and I love that. Yeah. But I'm like, if you need to stay with the same coach for the same thing for an extended period of time, like you're just paying someone to keep you stuck. And I say that with love, but I'm always like, like if you're done with this academy and you want to hire this breathwork facilitator girl, do it. Like, so I love it for that reason. Like my community loves each other and they really like amp each other up. And it's just a really cool place. It's a really cool spot to be. And I'm so proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. That literally sounds, I mean, it sounds very similar to what I do, but it sounds like it's a few steps above what I do. Like I would recommend somebody go to you after working with me is what it sounds like, honestly, because, I still feel like I'm very much in the beginning stages of coaching, but I also agree with you because you see this a lot. Like people stay with the same coach for a while and it's like, yeah, you need to move out the step now. I guarantee there's more you could be getting that you're not getting from that coach, but you're staying with them out of loyalty, which is awesome. But everybody has their ceiling, you know?
Yes. And like, I would hate for someone to stay with me out of loyalty.
I agree with you.
I tell them even in the academy, I was like, listen, there will be a day you will hate me in this academy because I do not let people kind of like, I call it circling the drain. I'm like, we're going to hold space for your emotions for a minute and then we're going to move forward.
Yeah.
And you're not going to like me in that moment. You might not like me for a week or two, and that's good. And eventually, you are going to outgrow me if I've done my job.
Yeah.
And if
I
not,
totally agree.
Then yeah, it's like, what are we doing? I'm sure you feel that way as being a therapist. It's like if somebody's coming to you for anxiety, yes, of course, like that can be a really, really nuanced thing to treat.
Yeah.
But if they're not making progress and they're staying with you for 25 years, it's kind of like, am I a good fit? Like,
right.
So I would hate for somebody to stay out of loyalty, honestly.
Yeah.
I think I love referring people to other coaches. Like I'm always let me tell you the next girl to go.
Yes, I do too. I know. I just had, so one of my very first coaching clients when I just started last year, I referred her after me to go to Lindsay Schwartz for her next round. And she just did. And I was like, I do. Yeah. She's
not
amazing.
Do any wrong if you go to Lindsay.
I feel that way too. So she took me up on the offer. She did end up signing up for Lindsay's
That's so awesome.
package. So I was like, literally, like she is going to take you to multi six figures if that's your goal or whatever your goal would be. But
Stephanie, you need to like become an affiliate for Lindsay. Lindsay, if you're listening,
probably. I know. I've never done her program yet, but
do it.
And I just know. Yeah, for real. But I agree. I mean, I very much feel like at some point you hit a wall with people. And that's actually why I love coaching so much, is because with therapy, I do feel like people get in that comfort zone with you as a practitioner. And, they tell themselves stories like, well, I'm just going to be seeing you for the rest of my life because I just think I should always be in therapy. And I'm like, well, that's great. I think that is great, but you should at some point switch to a different therapist, probably.
You're all for my own sanity.
Yeah. But I do think in coaching, the good thing about coaching is like these containers that we sign up for, like 12 weeks, 3 months, 6 months, like there is an end date and the likelihood of you re-signing up for that is a lot less because you hopefully should find a bigger container. At some point you should be signing up for like Lori and Chris Harder. Like, I mean, I've heard like that's a pretty big investment for a coaching container. So like you just need to continuously bump up, I feel, because one coach is going to give you something the next one or the previous one wasn't able to. I guarantee that. Yeah,
no. And I think too, like, I really feel like when you, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a coach.
No, I get you.
When you would do a bigger investment, or even if it's like just a little unknown, right? Like you're kind of like stepping into the unknown, that just piece, even if it doesn't work out perfectly, like you're like, oh, I didn't really get what I wanted out of that.
Yeah.
Taking that step into the unknown can be like so empowering to you.
Yes.
And you really start to trust yourself with like, this is what I need. This is what I don't. I love that. And some of my mentors actually are in Chris and Lori Harder's mentorship.
Nice.
And what I love the most about it is they trickle things down to me that I'm like, oh, cool. I have $1 million advice.
Yeah, I totally agree with you.
Like, it's important to learn from different people because you will get different things. And I love that. I think it's a weird thing in the coaching space where it's like, oh, she stole my client. I'm like, what?
That's not even a thing. That shouldn't even be somebody's vocabulary. Like, no.
I'm like, please don't be a coach if you say that.
Yeah. There's plenty of clients out there for everybody. Like, yeah. That's very interesting. I'm glad you see that take because that's how I feel too. So I'm just curious. So you have the Undeniable Brand Academy, but then you also have like private coaching, correct?
Yes. Yeah. And so I really, I love them both. I think they both serve different things. And I would say the thing with my private coaching, I always say like, if you want really precise, like precision coaching and you want me there like in the moment. Right. And I feel like when you're first starting out, sometimes you're like, I don't really know what I need. I've never had a coach or whatever. Or, it's like the academy might be a better fit because you're getting your feet wet and it really gives you the foundations. And like a lot of my one-on-one clients, they're more like, I just have this thing with marketing or like and it's never just a thing with marketing, right? But they very much kind of know what they're looking for. it's a little bit more like I have the clients, but it feels chaotic, or I'm not getting clients. And so it's more dialed in, and they have a more direct, I call it like a lifeline to me, if they want to call it that, where it's like, we can coach in the moment when it's one, right? Like on Telegram, like you can just message me and be like, oh my gosh, someone just sent me this in the DMs. I'm freaking out. What do I do? Yeah. Whereas in the academy, you can always drop your questions in, but it could be like a business day before. So I think that's the difference. It's really like the type of person, and then also how precise. I always tell them this: what questions do you have? Because that's going to help me know which container you want to go in. And you know that, Stephanie. Like, business, you're asking totally different questions, and none of them are right or wrong, but it's like there's a different level of understanding. And so that's kind of how I think of those two. It's not one is above the other. It's just different type of coaching as far as framework, though. I literally walk even the most experienced entrepreneurs through the same thing.
Okay. Love that. Okay. Well, that pretty much answers my question. So I was going to say, like, what does that like ideal client look like more for your like one-on-one coaching then? And you pretty much answered that. So, that makes more sense to me. And those are your two containers. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
I'm not missing anything.
I do have like a lot of little, like, I'll do like mini offers and stuff where it's like, I actually have like a Find Your It Factor challenge that people like love.
Nice.
And that's like a low ticket. You just hop in and it's audio drops, and people really like that. But yeah, for the most part, those are my two containers that I love and live.
Yeah. I love that. Okay. So as a leader, as a coach, what keeps you aligned in your business? Like what continuously keeps you inspired as a leader / business owner? I like to ask that because I think listeners are also interested in that.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I would say two things. I would say knowing the bigger vision. That's why clarity is the first thing I go through with people, because if you don't have a bigger vision, and I usually am like, when they tell me their big vision, I'm like, let's times that by 10. It's not like about the money or anything else. It's that I want you to really feel expansive.
Yeah.
And if you can keep your eye on that bigger vision, right? It's like, then it makes all these little things day to day feel like so unimportant, right? Like somebody sent me a mean DM. It's like, okay, I don't care because I'm doing bigger. Mm-hmm. So that's number one, knowing your bigger vision, keeping that forefront always. And then number two is, this is kind of like a Miss America answer, but it's really knowing your values. And I 100% like, this is one of the things that clients really struggle with. I'm like, I need to know your personal values and your brand values. I need to know them very clearly. And I need to know why they matter to you, because it actually doesn't matter to me personally. But if they can define those things and keep them at the forefront, you are never going to make a decision you regret if you're leading with your values. Like for me, my main value is integrity. Like I always want to be in integrity with what I do. And when I'm like, do I do this or do I not? I'm like, okay, let's just come back to my values. Is this in integrity with who I am, with all the things like that I value? Like it never leads me astray. So really knowing your values, sticking to those regardless, and then knowing your bigger vision. I feel like if you can keep, which those are so basic, but if you can keep those things, it's like makes everything else so much simpler. You then show up as a consistent leader because you are a consistent leader. Do you know what I mean? It's not so flashy. Like you don't have to be the loudest person in the room. You don't have to have the coolest graphics. You don't have to like, I don't even know what the Nicki Minaj challenge is, to be honest. When you said that, I'm like,
I love that you admit that.
I try not to do any of those challenges, but I'm like, I just focus on the things that I value, the things that I know are true for me, and that big vision. And it's never led me astray. And I teach my clients to do the same.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay. So you see a lot with brands, coaches, businesses of various types that they'll announce, oh, I'm rebranding, which I actually did that with the podcast going into year 2. I feel like I might know the answer to this, but I just want to ask it anyways. How would a business owner, coach, whatever, know when maybe there needs to be a rebrand? Or like I said, I feel like I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyways because I'm just curious what you would say.
Yeah. So I usually feel like when it doesn't feel like you know what I mean?
Yep. Okay.
When it just doesn't feel like it's you anymore, and it feels like sometimes I think people want to pivot or rebrand because they're bored, and I'm like, no, that's not what we're talking about.
Okay, good to say that. Yeah.
Real business is actually very boring. If you actually have ever worked at a lucrative business, it's very, you're doing the same thing. You're saying the same thing. Even on social media, look at any of your big time people, they say the same thing over and over and over.
Right.
It's very boring. So it's like, we're not changing our whole message just because you're bored. But if it's like, hey, I'm not feeling aligned anymore with talking about money because I'm on my motherhood journey and I really want to, and I always say too, to my clients, like, let's sit with it for a few days. And if you still feel that way in a few days, cool. If it's just something that you're feeling because you listen to a podcast and feel inspired.
Right.
So that's the thing. I'm like, sit with it for a few days, but also like when it genuinely doesn't feel like you anymore, then it's time to move on. Because I think, in the beginning of my business, I really shared a lot about my past, and that's still a piece of me, and I don't have any problem talking about, but I'm like, it's really just not like, I feel like I've processed through it and I feel like it's a piece of me and I'm happy to talk about, but it's not something that like is forefront anymore. I've kind of outgrown it, and that's fine. And so that's where I'm like, also, I don't think we should be rebranding every 28 business days. So
no,
we just need to really make sure it's coming from a place of growth and not from a place of like, am I missing out? So that's why I'm like, sit on with it for a few days.
That's great advice. I love that. Okay. Any, before we wrap things up, is there any last advice you would want to give to a coach who maybe has a big vision, but is just feeling stuck on those next steps? I mean, obviously, you would recommend working with a coach, but like any advice for a business owner who's kind of like in that muck of it?
I have a question too.
Yeah.
My advice always is like, just start. Like, actually, I'm not that coach who's like, hire a coach today. Please don't.
Okay.
Please don't. Okay. Just for the fact of like, I'm like, get your feet wet a teeny bit, because you're not even going to know, like, you're not even going to know what you want, how anything feels.
Yeah.
Like, maybe do it even just for a month before you hire someone.
Yeah.
So my thing is like, just start. Like, don't worry about things being perfect. And I know that's easy to say, but it's like, you are never going to get anywhere if you don't just start.
Yep. Doing it messy is better than not at all.
Yes. I'm like, my motto is fast action and refine often. And I live by that and die by that. Like, just do something, do it for a little bit, pivot, that kind of thing. And then hire, you can hire a coach. Yes, absolutely invest in a coach. But if you are very, very, very unclear, like, try a few things out first. Just start. Okay. Now I have to ask you a question.
Yeah. I just have to write that quote down. That's a good one.
What did you wear to the Powerhouse Women event?
Okay. So it's so funny that you're asking this, because there's a story behind it. So I found part of my brand colors are like lavender, bubblegum pink, and anyways, just some like beachy colors. But I last year got my color analysis done, and I'm a true summer, and there's lavender in my color season. And so I've just like really got into lavender. I've kind of become obsessed with lavender. And I have a stylist that I get a style box from every month. And so I'm constantly like, more lavender. Like, I don't know. I'm just like obsessed with it right now. And so anyways, I wanted a lavender 2-piece outfit. I feel like I'm never going to be in as good of shape as I am right now. So I was like, I'm going to wear a 2-piece, which is totally not me. So I found this 2-piece lavender, like crop top with a pencil skirt. And I was like, this is going to be my Saturday outfit. Well, it's a 3-day event this year. So there's a mastermind day on Sunday. So anyways, we're in Scottsdale the day before the event. Me and my girlfriend go to this like downtown boutique in Old Town Scottsdale. And there's a rack of like dresses that they're trying to get rid of. And one was like this gold, like pretty much like a cocktail dress, but gold is not in my season. So I was like, not even going to look at it. And my friend that was with me was like, oh my God, only you can pull that dress off. And I'm like, probably, but it's not in my season. So I'm not even going to try it on, because that's just how I am with shopping now. And so the business owner was there, and she was like, that's crazy, because that's the last one that we have of that. And I was like, well, it's not in my season, so I don't know why you're telling me this. Like, I don't care. And so we kept shopping, and my friend was like, I can't believe you're not even going to at least try it on. Like, why are you so obsessed about it? It doesn't have to be in your season. I'm like, well, things just look more like aesthetically pleasing when they are, though. And she's like, I don't care. I'm pulling it, and you're going to try it on. So anyways, I tried it on, felt like a fucking powerhouse in it. I was like, thank you for forcing me to put this on. But I'm like, but I already have my outfits for the weekend. Like, I don't need a dress. This is so silly. And she's like, why can't, like, business is all about pivoting. Why can't you pivot and just wear this freaking dress that you look like a rock star in? And I was like, okay, fine. So I bought the dress. It was on sale. So I bought it, wore that gold. Like it looked like a goddess dress. Like I looked like an Egyptian goddess in it. I felt like an MFing powerhouse. Like I'm not afraid to admit that. Wore that on the main event day. And then I wore my lavender on the mastermind day on Sunday. So
I love everything about that story.
I know. I was like, no, there's a
color season girly, and I feel like I can't ever get it. I'm a soft autumn, which is like not a fun color palette.
All of my friends are autumns, and I'm like the only summer.
Yeah, I'm like, can I be a winter so I could just wear black every day?
Yeah.
Like, no, you're a soft autumn. I'm like, cool. So nothing I want to wear. Great.
Right. Yeah.
I love that story. Did you post pictures of your outfit?
In my story I did, but not for a post yet. I have a couple reels that are going out.
Okay, good. I'm going to be watching. Everybody be watching. We have to see this gold dress now.
Yeah.
And it's on my to-do list.
Another reason I didn't really want to go with the gold was because and this is probably silly of me, but like I really like to look in line with my brand because I know I'm probably posting these pictures on my Instagram. But like at the end of the day, who cares? Like I look like a powerhouse. I felt like a powerhouse. That's what people are going to see in those pictures. They're going to see me showing up with confidence. They're not going to give two shits about the color of my dress, honestly.
No, and I love that. Like, this is like literally what I do. Like, kudos to your friend, because I would have said the same thing. I'm like, who cares about your brand colors? Like, your brand is not your brand colors. Your brand is you being a badass. So let's just wear the dress. I love that you did that, though. That's like amazing. And what a great lesson to wrap this up with. Like,
for real. Yeah. And you're exactly right. Like, I feel like this conversation is going to make me look differently at content moving forward because really at the end of the day, they aren't connecting with you based on your fonts, based on your colors even. They're really connecting with you based on how you're making them feel and the stories that you are telling. That's how we socialize. That's how we connect with people. And that's
so true. It's so true. And I totally get like for consistency's sake, using the same fonts and colors. Love it. But I also am like, I've never had anyone be like, I signed up with you because I loved your red color scheme.
Right.
Whatever.
Right. No.
Never.
Oh,
so
the
brand is such a bigger thing than that. And I just hope everyone can understand, like, you having presence and being who you are is what magnetizes people to your brand. It's not the perfect color scheme because it does not exist.
Oh, thank you for saying that because that is going to hit home for so many people, truly. Before we do my rapid fire questions, are there anything coming down the pipe for you? Anything you want listeners to know? Any offers that you'd like listeners to know about?
I would really love anybody who is interested. Undeniable Brand Academy is always enrolling now. We've kind of switched it up so everyone can just come in whenever. We do have spots available for that. I'm heading into a wait list for my one-to-one coaching, but I have like one spot left. So if anybody is interested in that, that is really, really, really a good high touch precision coaching where I can help you really refine branding and your business to get you where you want to be. So thank you for allowing me to share that.
Yeah. And all of the information will definitely be in the show notes.
Perfect.
I do like to end with some rapid fire questions, Morgan. So what is a small habit or ritual that makes you feel like your next level self?
Oh my gosh. Okay. This is kind of funny. Every morning with my coffee, I do like a froth milk. Like I just do like a normal drip coffee with like my coconut creamer, but then I have like this like whole setup that you like pour milk and flavoring in it and you froth it and it gives you like this inch of really thick warm foam and it's like luxury beyond. So I do that every day.
Oh my gosh, I love that. It really is the little things in life. Like if you can learn to romanticize your life, then you are living the life because that's so important.
Absolutely. And then when I'm at the hospital and I'm like, I can't drink this bean water. I need my foam.
I've gotten kind of spoiled. I need the foam at the top. Yes. Awesome. If you could manifest one thing right now, what would it be?
Geez, I think I would love to have just a 2-week vacation in Costa Rica where I'm not doing anything except maybe talking to people in the DMs, which I know most people hate, but I actually love talking to people in the DMs.
It's growing on me, so I hear you. I feel that. Yeah. What is one piece of advice you'd like to give your younger self?
Stop worrying what other people think. Just stop.
Preach to that. Yep. Own your worth and stop giving a shit about what other people are doing. Stop the comparison game. It's not helpful.
No.
I love that. One more. What is a non-negotiable self-care practice in your week?
So for me, journaling really is something where that's how I kind of reconnect to myself. And so I at least like 3 times a week And even when I was a little girl, before I knew what self-help was, like journaling was a daily thing. And so I really just love to get in there and free write. Like I don't even often use prompts. I just start like brain dumping, and the stuff that comes up is sometimes some of my best content and some of my best breakthroughs.
Okay.
It's weird when we let our brains loose, what they let out. So that's something I'm like, every 3 times a week, I have it set in my calendar where I'm like unplugged journal time. And I'm like, I'm in the room, I'm locking the door. So don't bug me.
Okay. That's crazy that you bring that up. I have to show you this real quick. So one of the speakers, I don't know if you've heard of, I want to make sure I get her name right, Brittany Noel.
She has this
journal called From the Heart. This is like, it's like the size of my chest.
It's like a Bible. It's beautiful.
It's like a Bible. So I purchased it, because it's professional development. Yeah. It's like 200 plus pages. So she recommends doing 1 page a day. So she's like, it should take you almost a year to get through this. It is like in-depth journaling. Like I'm so excited to dig into this. It's going to be life-changing.
I'm going to have to get that journal now.
Yeah.
I'm like one of those people that has like 50 empty journals. Everyone gives them to me. So I'm like, I need to get that now. Now that you've shown that to me, the Bible of journals, I have to get it.
I'll send her information to you, but it's a value, but it is totally worth it. I mean, she was one of the speakers and she was like answering people's like trauma questions, like on the spot, like really trying to give them some clarity and some healing, like on the spot. And she's like, my journal can do this. And you should have seen the line for this journal. I mean, it's a lot.
So I'm getting that journal. If it's going to save me a therapy bill, I'm getting that journal.
Right.
But that just goes to show like, this is why we all have an it factor. Like hers is very different than mine or yours. And it's like,
yes,
she would have not leaned into that and been like, oh, it's not a big deal that I know exactly the right questions to ask to help you release this. Like,
right. Yeah.
So
she's a therapist.
How beautiful for her.
Yeah. If you've never heard her speak, just like pull her up, listen to one of her reels because she has such a calming and relaxing voice. Like
she's one of those.
You just want to sit back and just like she speaks to your soul.
I'm going to look her up for sure.
You need to. Yeah. Yeah. I can't believe you said that. And I was like, oh my God, if you love journals, you have to get her journal. Awesome. Morgan, I so appreciate, again, like I'm not sure whether the chicken or the egg came first. I'm not sure how we exactly met, but like, I'm so glad we started a conversation because I actually, before you came into my DMs or before we started DMing, I was like, oh, it would be so cool to have a brand expert come on. And then I found you. So I know I manifested this somehow. So thank you so much for agreeing to this. And just in general, thank you for coming into my DMs. That's how I realized like we jived. So
yes. Yeah. And I'm so glad we met and we will, I'm sure, continue to grow our friendship. And maybe I'll be at the event with you next year.
Oh my God, go to year 10. Yeah, it's going to be a big year because it's year 10 next year. So it's going to be big.
Gosh. Okay. Yeah. We'll go color season shopping together.
Yeah. Actually, I found a stylist this year that was at the event and she's specifically for petite women. So I'm like, my next level self would have a personal stylist. So I'm going to hire her. Yep. Yeah. I love it. Thank you so much, Morgan. And you guys, if any of this resonated with you, feel free. You can DM Morgan. Obviously, she made that known that you can DM her. She loves it. So you can DM Morgan. You can DM me if you have questions. But just in general, as you know, please rate and review the podcast. And please share it in your stories because you just never know who needs to hear this message. It literally could hit home to just the right person. If they come to mind for you, then share with them. All right, guys, until next week, have a great rest of your week.
Real quick before you go, I just want to thank you so much for spending a little time with me today. And congratulations on showing up for you. Every step you take to invest in yourself brings you that much closer to your next level self, and I'm so proud of you. If you loved this episode, share it with someone who could use a little inspiration, or take a screenshot and tag me on socials so we can keep spreading the next level you energy. Thanks again for tuning in, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Let's freaking go!